Hi, how you going? In this video I gathered all the information I could find about Lords of the Fallen's multiplayer aspect. Seamless co-op, PvP, matchmaking, level scaling, crossplay, etc. Can you avoid invasions? Or is it still fun to play with over-leveled endgame players? Will there be gestures? Is there a ping feature, and will matchmaking prioritize location? These and many other questions will be answered in the video. I know some of you guys avoid new Lords of the Fallen gameplay videos from bigger content creators like Asmongold because of potential spoilers. This one is spoiler free. And if you have any questions that aren't covered in the video, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments. Devs are watching them too, you know. Let's take a closer look now, shall we?
Let's go to work. Alright, let's try it again.
Lords of the Fallen features seamless multiplayer co-op, which means that your session doesn't get terminated upon you or your co-op partner's death. That probably means the game can be played and finished as a group of two. I say probably because we don't know if there will be any parts of the game meant to be played strictly solo. And yeah, a party of two. If you see some articles saying that Lords of the Fallen has a 3-player co-op, what they probably mean is that there's one slot reserved for a co-op partner and one for an invader. Oops! We will talk about invasions and PvP later in the video. Another thing worth mentioning is that you don't need any specific consumables to host or join a game. Co-op here is drop-in, drop-out type. If your partner dies, they enter spectator mode until either they are resurrected by you or you are dead. If your party wipes, you respawn at the last visited vestige. Also, only the host can direct the realm you're in. As in, only the host can manually bring the party to Umbral, the world of the dead. Now, I'm not sure if the party goes to Umbral upon the host's death or the party just wipes. If you know the answer, write me a comment. Another pretty obvious thing, there will be various gestures to use to interact with other players. New gestures can be unlocked by exploring the game and engaging with various NPCs. Additionally, there will be different factions, akin to Dark Souls Covenants, I suppose, and each of them provides its own unique gesture. There's one thing I'm really curious about, but I can't find any information online. Will we be able to trade with other players during co-op? I've seen a few people asking this question during an AMA on Reddit, but they were all ignored for some reason. If you know anything about that, kindly let us know in the comments. It's a pretty important feature and I'd like to know if it's present in the game. Hey, look at you, killer, still watching. Okay, I review every Souls-like action RPG you can get on PC and then some. So if you're interested in this type of content, subscribe to my channel. It will also help me heaps with discoverability. Your support is highly appreciated. And if you want to go further, there's now an option to become a member of the channel. Thank you very much. There are a few ways to invite/join players, by going through the social tab in the menu or by using a vestige. If you want to invite a friend, it can be done by sending a direct invite to them or by setting up a password. I think it will work similar to Dark Souls password mechanic. If you want to play with a random person, the game also features a matchmaking system that allows players to seek assistance from the broader community, so to speak. The devs say that all in-game vestiges, whether ancient, the pre-made ones, or player-created, provide you with the option to either host a game for another player or join someone else's game. Now, if you're open to both of them, you can enter the queue as a potential host or a potential ally. Before connecting players for a match, the matchmaking system evaluates the ping between them, and there is the allowable maximum ping that gradually increases over time, up to a predetermined limit. Unfortunately, I don't know if the limit can be set up manually, but I think it's safe to say the game will try to grab players closer to you first, since they will have lower ping. Sol Gascon, head of Hexworks, also mentioned in one of the interviews that they developed a scaling system to leverage the level of players. For example, if an endgame character joins your game and they're like level 90 and you're level 20, the endgame character will be set at level 20 in terms of damage output. Interestingly enough, it works the same for the invaders. Whenever you get invaded, the game checks the invader's damage output and leverages it to yours to make every fight fair and all about skill. Let's talk a bit about progression. We know that only the host of the game can advance the story and interact with NPCs, where the guest can only listen to the dialogues. although both players can interact with vendors. It's just the guests cannot interact with NPCs to select quest answers during dialogues. It's also known that guests can collect all items dropped by enemies, such as weapons, consumables, armor, shields, etc. Although they cannot access any world loot, including objects hidden around the environment and items found inside chests. Bottom line is, if you join somebody as a guest, you can keep all the loot you found during your co-op session and the XP you gain. Your story won't advance and the status of your world will remain the same, but you keep items, levels, achievements, and quote-unquote currencies you earn during the online session. A crossplay option will also be available, which is fantastic. PC players will be able to matchmake with console players. Unfortunately, there will be no crossplay between the consoles. I wonder why, Sony. Also, I read somewhere that if a PC player teams up with a console player, they only share gameplay and not loot and XP, but I can't find this article anywhere anymore. This needs to be fact-checked. Now, let's talk about PvP. As we all know, there will be player versus player in Lords of the Fallen. Players can be invaded by other players regardless if they are playing solo or in co-op. As long as the player is online, an invasion can occur. There are two major ways to avoid invasions. First of all, there's a consumable that can be purchased from certain vendors that temporarily wards off any invasions. The second option is to turn off multiplayer completely from the in-game menu. This way you won't get invaded and obviously couldn't play in co-op. It's also known that if you set up a password for your friend to join, invasions are temporarily blocked for a brief period of time. And once that time has passed, your session is being dropped into an invasion queue again. Another thing that is worth mentioning is Fran PvP. It will also be available but will not provide the same rewards as the regular PvP does. There are also multiple factions in Lords of the Fallen you can join. It is not known if it's possible to join every faction at once, but we know that players can generate faction tokens and turn them in for rewards over at faction shrines. Faction shrines, though, are only accessible when playing online. I think that PvP and co-op are absolutely necessary in a game like Lords of the Fallen, as it directly affects the game's longevity. Wulong Fallen Dynasty had an option to disable invasions and the game is dead now. Well, it could be because it runs like poo most of the time, but my point is, making invasions optional defies the whole purpose of invasions, turning them into, I don't know, invitations. You know what I mean? If you have an option to turn them off, then turning them on will mean that you're ready for somebody to invade, you're ready to fight. But that's just my opinion, what's your take? Let me know in the comments and don't forget to subscribe and stop by for a stream this Friday. We will be doing a Condemned run. Thanks for watching, see ya.
Wow,